I lost my virginity to this guy, and even
Oh,
after we
no.
broke up, he still didn't know my name.
On the menu today at Sarah's Soju Cafe is orange, mango, bikkle. So grab your mugs and let's chat about Valentine's Day. Welcome back, Soju Shotties, to another episode of
Soju with Sarah.
I sound a little bit congested because I'm sick. Not lovesick, although I am always lovesick.
For who?
You make me so sick all the time.
I make you feel ill?
Yeah, I'm unwell when I'm with you.
That's not good.
Welcome back to our Valentine's Day special. I forgot Valentine's Day was coming up. Otherwise, I would have decorated because for Halloween, we went all out last year. And that was the only holiday we really went all out for. We did Thanksgiving.
Yeah, our lighting is low-key pretty Valentine's themed though, no?
It is. It's always Valentine's Day themed though.
Yeah, it's all love here on this podcast.
Ooh. But I did put up this pillow that you made me last year. It says, "Be mine."
I think I made it, is it 2 years ago now?
Oh, is this when you first started sewing?
Yeah, I think so. This was like very early on when I started learning how to sew.
It's a pillow that
It's
says, "Be mine."
really scraggly and misshapen, but it's cute.
It is very cute. Although I never know where to put it. So this is literally in some closet somewhere that we had to dig up.
Yeah, it just kind of takes up space somewhere. But
anyways, welcome back to the podcast, you guys. Whether you're new here or you're old here, whether you're single, you're in a relationship, you're in a very complicated relationship. I guess those are called situationships. Or you're in a sugar daddy relationship.
ooh.
Welcome back.
Or sugar mama. Let's not
sugar
forget
mama.
that representation there.
Let's not forget. But today's episode is going to be a little bit fun. We're also dressed to represent all ends of the spectrum. I'm in all pink. I'm the festive Valentine's Day.
And I'm all black for the sexier side of Valentine's Day.
Or the depressive side of Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and unbeknownst to most of you, I'm wearing a thong under here. And some lingerie as well.
Wait, I didn't tell you to wear that.
You don't have to tell me.
Whose lingerie is it?
Low-key, I kind of wear it every day.
What?
What?
Okay. So not just because it's Valentine's Day, but also because I'm congested and sick today. This is going to be a very chill, calm, romantic podcast. So bring out your romantic voice, James.
Je suis James.
Oh, James. Ooh la la.
Romantic language.
But today's episode, we just wanted to celebrate all forms of love, maybe sprinkle in some love advice, answer some love questions, but mostly share some stories about love that you guys sent in. So over the weekend, I asked on my Instagram for you guys to share some love stories. And I ended up making a form because some of you guys wanted to send very long stories and some of them horror stories. So I solicited all of that from you guys. And today we're just going to go through and read them. So strap in, pull your thongs up, and let's get into it. Also, today's drink of the day is the Frankenstein concoction because James got so many things from like the Asian Mart that I don't even know what the drinks are.
I just grabbed a lot of random Asian stuff.
But he got this drink called bikkle that is it yogurt?
I think it's a yogurty drink.
Okay.
From Japan.
Yeah.
And then you mixed it with what?
I mixed it with orange mango culture pot and I did taste a little bit of it. It was pretty good.
Well,
so cheers.
Cheers.
You know, I really wanted to bring out red wine because it's Valentine's Day and I thought it could be romantic. But then I was like, I'm sick, so I probably shouldn't.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't had alcohol on here in a while.
Yeah.
Actually, I was just thinking maybe we should just call it Noju with Sarah. Oh, wait, that could be construed
That's
wrong.
a funny one.
No new with Sarah?
No new. Ow. Ow.
Ow.
Wait, that actually reminded me. Someone made a good pun from last week's episode because we said we were gonna have a dance battle, which it's still going on. So comment your dance emojis. But someone made a comment that it should be called because we were talking about so you think you can dance, and someone commented it should be called Soju think you can dance.
Oh, that was pretty good. Soju think you can dance. Yeah. Speaking of that dance competition, there has not been necessarily an update on it other than what she said. It's going on still.
Yeah, it's an ongoing
It's a dance
battle.
marathon. It's a dance-a-thon. So guys, keep doing your things. I saw one that was like the mosquito going up and down,
That was a good
twerking.
one.
That was pretty good. So
It was creative.
we see you guys. Keep it up. Just one more week, maybe. Or longer.
Or longer.
And then you get to face me, whoever is the finalist.
It's an indefinite dance battle that's ongoing.
Yeah, and it's going through Valentine's as well and beyond.
That's exhausting.
Exhilarating, exhausting, invigorating. It's all the same.
Good word choices.
Thank you.
Okay, so I kind of went through and you guys surprised me because you guys sent in so many stories. So what I wanted to do for some maybe overflow stories that we don't get to is I wanted to make a little website, just very casual one, to throw all the stories onto. So if you guys wanted to peruse it on Valentine's Day or after Valentine's Day, see what the Soju Shotty community sent in about their dating stories, how they met their partners, or any sort of love advice, I will hopefully have that website in the description. I need to carve out some time to recover from this illness, but also to make that website. So
guys, let's take a minute to appreciate our host and founder of this podcast here. She's fighting through sickness just to get this episode out. So
I slept through the whole day just to do this.
Yes.
So there's a few categories just to preface it if you guys want to jump around, but this episode is going to be broken down into how I met my partner stories, dating advice, dating horror stories. Actually, no, let's do dating horror stories before we jump into dating advice, and then dating questions, because when I put out the form, I was asking you guys to send us your stories and your advice, but I think some people took it as asking us questions, so I guess we'll do a little Q&A at the end too. But yeah, shall we jump into it?
Let's get into it.
All right. Also, this is really exciting. I love that you guys shared your personal love stories because it makes me feel so happy and warm. But the first one is from Prancing Pluto. They said, I met my love, let's call him Mars, in high school. Been together for almost 4 years now, known each other for 6. We both went to the same high school, which consisted of around 100 students in each grade level. In parentheses, met in junior year, yet we never had any interactions or classes together. My friend, let's call her Yo-Yo, had a class together with Mars and knew him from middle school. From what Yo-Yo tells me, she asked him a truth or dare question, and he picked truth. This was after exams, so there was not much to do, but Yo-Yo asked Mars who he thought was the prettiest girl in the school, and Mars said, I was. Parentheses, keep in mind, I had never interacted with him much. Yo-Yo then told Mars that I'm single and that he should shoot his shot. He had already told her previously that he was interested in me. Later on that week, Mars decided to shoot his shot by texting me through Instagram and asking me for the chemistry homework. She had a little semicolon slant face. What is that face? It's like the
disappointed face. But later he asked me stuff about books I like, K-pop bands I love, etc. In parentheses, he doesn't like any of this stuff. Later we talked more in person and he learned all of the K-pop group names for me. Unfortunately, the coronavirus happened and our relationship consisted of only texting and calling until the end of senior year. To keep it short, senior year came and he was too shy to ask me out, so I asked him out in front of my mom, in parentheses, who was picking me up and a few feet away waiting in the car. He said yes, and that's where our beautiful journey begins. He's my first boyfriend and I love him very much. I haven't been happier since he came into my life. That's really sweet.
That is really sweet. They're so young.
They knew each other for 6 years, but dating for 4?
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, what, 22, 23 or something like that?
Yeah, and they're high school sweethearts. That's
sweet.
So cute.
She asked him out in front of her mom.
Yeah. I love how we're silenced because they're like, usually we're so used to like advice requests. So we're like thinking of something smart to say. But like for these, I feel like we can only just react.
You're going to say, oh, that's really nice.
Moving on. I'm just kidding. This was so sweet. I love the organic ones where it's like someone has a crush on someone and then someone else tells them and it just kind of like develops like that.
Yeah, you think that was a good first line? What's the chemistry homework?
No.
No? If you don't know the person that well, like what would you say?
Hey, I think you're cute. Although I think those lines only work if you're cute too.
Yeah, I think it's really bold to say that if you're not really like confident about that.
I mean, what would you ask a girl out? Wait, what's your Riz game? What do you say to pick up girls?
Well, maybe I would just let them cheat off my homework or something to win their favor. Yeah, that's my strategy.
The right answer would have been, I don't have anything I say to girls because I don't talk to girls.
Oh, I meant like back then. Now?
I'll give you a pass.
Now I have no Riz game because I don't need it because I have you.
Okay, you guys, we're actually going to mix the love stories and the horror dating stories to keep you guys on your toes.
This horror story is from Szechuan Broccoli.
Spicy.
Hi y'all, I've been watching since the first episode and appreciate the content that you guys make that gets people through their day at the office, their drive home, etc.
Yay.
Thank you. My dating story is essentially how I met somebody online who ended up being a complete sociopath.
It started a couple years ago when me and this girl I met on a dating app, we'll call her Jade for privacy, and she wanted to meet up with me and my friends at the club for our first date, which was kind of weird already, but it gets worse. When we were there, Jade was hitting on my other friend, and she was not having it low-key between how drunk she got and how much she was trying to touch her on the dance floor. Obviously, that wasn't cool, but she apologized later and said it was because she was drunk so that it wouldn't happen again. I gave her the benefit of the doubt and went on a couple more dates with Jade, and she even got us VIP tickets to a concert. Fast forward a couple months, everything was chillin'. But we weren't exclusive yet, and we were about to go to a rave so she could meet my other friend group. But while we were driving, a car sideswiped us and we got stranded. Thankfully, no one was hurt and we made it to the rave anyways, lol. But when we got there, it was like a switch flipped in her head, and she got really defensive/rude with my friends when they were asking us if we were okay, even saying things to them like, "Of course we're okay, who the F do you think we are?" Jade proceeded to argue with some of them on our Uber ride back. The general vibe was horrible. The last straw for me was when I had a birthday dinner with her, and some of my mentees from an academic org I'm in, one of them, we'll call him Eric, was not on good terms with his parents at the time and was basically homeless for a hot minute. Jade was giving him advice, saying how she went through something similar when she was younger, etc. But at the end, she said, "I guess my trauma beat yours, haha," like, oh my God. WTF? My boy's literally homeless and you want to one-up him for what? So after that, I told her a couple days later that we had to stop seeing each other, and she exploded on me saying that she was going to see other guys and she didn't want to be the one to break it off anyways, and all this other ish. To end on a good note though, I am very happy to say that I'm currently in a loving relationship, and if she sees this, happy Valentine's Day.
I feel like the first date at a club is what would throw me off as a red flag for
the first date being, they requested that they go to a club.
Yeah,
and then she was hitting on the other person.
Oh yeah, that's the second red flag.
That's a pretty bad way to start off, to be honest. Flag.
What first impressions would immediately like tick you off? Because I feel like that would tick me off if they're hitting on my friend.
I think that's a pretty strong case to not see them again. And to get that drunk on a first meeting, I feel like that's kind of bad form, you know?
That's crazy. I was bracing myself for something like really, really scary.
Seems like they cut it off
when
the time is right.
Thank you for sharing. I'm so glad you're in a happy relationship now, though.
Do you think they should have mental exams before you get into a relationship and you have to pass a certain threshold?
Like standardized relationship exam.
It's just like you must be this level of crazy or under this level of crazy to be in a relationship.
I'm gonna say no, so everyone gets a chance, but probably yes.
No, I'm just kidding.
Surprisingly, we had a lot of horror stories. So this one is from D. They say, "So it's been fun because my partner and I met on a creepy app called Anonymous. It's an app where you can share any details or socials from the outside world, lol. We weren't actually looking for love at the time because that app not only offered a one-on-one private chat, it also offered something like a group chat and also a game where you collect gems, and only people who have a higher number of gems can message you. Interesting concept. Anyways, we met there because we were playing some games, like a trivia game on chat, and he was always winning. I guess I like smarty pants, but it's amazing whenever I look back, this happened during the pandemic, and we both agreed that we were never going to use this app if it weren't for the pandemic. We're still happily in love to this day and living together. Oh, that's exciting. It's fun. I didn't die on our first date." That's funny. Good luck with your Valentine party. I love your episodes and YouTube. I'm glad you didn't die on your first date too.
I'm really happy about that too. That's a good first date in my view.
Yeah. I've never heard of this app. It's called Anonymous.
Yeah, at first I was like, is that like Omegle or something like that?
Yeah. Like the one where you go on and you get randomly paired to someone in this world who's also on Omegle.
Yeah, but it seems like it's different because they do like games and stuff.
Yeah.
But props to that guy winning games and showing his smartness.
Yeah, no, that sounds fun. I feel like I've seen a lot of people who met on Hinge, especially in my social circles, like my friends, but also in these responses. There's a lot of Hinge stories as well.
I feel like nowadays, pretty much most of the couples that you meet that are semi-recent, it's through Hinge.
Yeah.
I've actually stopped asking a lot of the time because the standard response, it's like Hinge. A 2-second pause. They look at each other and they're like, Hinge. And I'm like, okay, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, how else do you meet people nowadays? Because now it's creepy if you like meet someone, let's say, well, it's not creepy. It's actually very cute. But like if someone approaches you at a grocery store, it's like 50% chance that they're a serial killer and 50% chance.
That's a really high percentage. 50%?
Okay, much lower.
Is that where serial killers hang out?
5%.
Oh, serial killers.
At the cereal aisle. Yeah.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense. This next one is from Dahlia Marie. think this is a love story. She says, at 21, I met this really cute guy at the mall who approached me and asked for my name. We exchanged phone numbers and immediately started texting each other. We had so much in common and I thought I found the one. He would introduce me as Green Eyes to everyone I met. This went on for a few months. I then came to realize he didn't even remember my name.
Oh my God,
laughing
no.
emoji.
No, I thought this was a good
Oh yeah, I thought it was going to be a love story. I lost my virginity to this guy, and even after we broke up, he still didn't know my name. The only reason why I knew he didn't remember my name was because after years of breaking up, he found me on Facebook and he said he's been looking for me for a long time to catch up. My Facebook name is my name, LMAO.
I can't believe this. Wait, I handed this story to you thinking it would be a really charming, because I was just about to say, oh, look, we finally found one where they met in real life.
Yeah. It was like, I was like, oh, he calls her Green Eyes.
Yeah.
And then
Like,
he didn't know her name. That's
name.
so funny.
My
How can
God.
you not know the name of someone you're dating? He's probably dating other people, maybe.
Oh,
well,
that's probably.
I don't know. I can't
But
say that.
still, like when you see them, do you not say, hey? I guess you just say, hey.
He got so deep in that he just couldn't admit that he didn't know her name.
Literally.
That's crazy. Can you imagine if
you call me like Brown Eyes?
Yeah, I like introduce you to my friends. I'm like, this is Brown Eyes.
After 7 years, if you're still doing that.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Thank you for sharing, Dahlia Marie.
Yeah,
Dahlia
I'm
Marie.
sorry, but that was pretty hilarious, to be honest.
This one is from
Sorry, I'm still
Shannon.
cracking up. He didn't know her name.
What's the threshold for when you can still ask for the name? Like, let's say you've been on a few dates, but you forgot their name. Is it still okay for you to ask their name?
I'm sure you can do some sleuthing. Just do a little bit of detective work online, you know?
We also got to remember, this is back when social media probably wasn't as...
Yeah, let's
Facebook,
give
right?
the generous assumption there. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's hard. Let's say you forgot someone. Because nowadays, if you forget someone's name, you can like go on Instagram, try to find them through your
Or
friends.
now you could be like, oh, what's your Instagram handle?
Yeah, exactly. This one's from Shannon. Shannon says, this is kind of my by fate / crazy chance story. I usually was never the type to go on dating apps. Neither was he, considering he told me that his friend had to convince him to download it too. LOL. And got Bumble one day back in the fall / winter of 2019. I didn't really make any strong connections and was about to delete the app altogether, but decided to increase the range of my potential matches to 100+ miles and match with him on the second swipe. I lived in New York and he lived in South New Jersey, and after a couple of days of texting, we planned our first date. So literally had gotten my license not even 2 months before that. I nervously drove almost close to an hour to meet him for our first date. That's a lot of commitment.
It's a really long drive.
He should have driven over.
Yeah.
Calling all my girlfriends, asking them if I was insane or stupid for driving so far, having not met this guy. We met up at a mall. Oh, another mall encounter.
Mall. I feel like a lot of stuff happens at the mall.
Yeah. We met up at a mall and it was like something I had never experienced, something out of a movie. A couple of hours of walking around, vibing, laughing, really getting to know each other. He suddenly screamed out loud while having his arms around me. Everyone, I really like this girl I'm with and can't wait to hang out with her more. Wait, this is so cute. And everyone around us looked in our direction like we were absolutely crazy. He bought me an outfit that he picked out in a store, made me try it on, all because he said I looked really good in it. Then we went to go see a rom-com for our second date. Following that, he took me around New York City for our third date, and we cafe hopped until past midnight, just having a blast and telling our life stories. It was the first time I really surprised myself by taking that huge leap of faith. He was 18, I was 19. I thought they were going to be like 20 something. That's crazy. So he was 18, I was 19, then living in our hometowns. Now we're both going to be 25 this year, having moved out, living in Miami. I wouldn't change a single thing about our relationship because we've grown so much together and I love him more than anything. Happy Valentine's Day. Love you guys.
Oh,
this
that's
one
really
makes me
cute.
want to cry. That's so sweet. Oh my God, I am tearing up.
That is like a movie scene though.
That is. I think it's just so rare to like hit it off with someone that much. Like usually I think by the second or third hour is when you're starting to feel like, oh man, maybe I should get going. But like for
that's
them
a big risk too. Driving 2 hours?
1 hour. But yeah.
Oh, 1 hour both ways.
Oh yeah, 2 hours. 2 hours. Yeah,
She
1
said
hour.
something about 2 hours,
way.
no?
I think you're right. 2 hours back and forth.
I'm glad it worked out. That's a beautiful story.
That is beautiful.
And now they're in Miami.
Yeah. But the fact that they met so young is crazy. I guess 18, 19 is not that young. But I feel like when I was 18, 19, I never drove around. So driving an hour just to see someone is, for me, like a big commitment.
Yeah, because you never drove. I could see myself doing that back then.
Really?
Yeah, if there was like the right person. If it was you.
Ooh. Also, we had so many submissions. So if we don't get to your submission, you guys just know that it will be on our Soju with Sarah website that hopefully I can get up. I always feel so bad when I can't read everyone's submissions because they're also wonderful. And I really do appreciate all the time you guys spend writing in too. So hopefully having it up on the website will at least allow those stories not to go to waste. If we did sit down for a 5-hour episode though, I feel like we could get through everything. Would you want to do a 5-hour episode?
Let's combine it with our dance-a-thon and then I think we can make it work.
Okay. Wait, should we like read the stories while we're dancing?
That'd be the ultimate commitment to the bit. All right, this one's from Anonymous. They say, I was dating a girl for 6 years. When we broke up, she wanted money back from everything that she ever paid for. This amount equated to $4,000, including things like concert tickets, hotel rooms she paid for, trip expenses, gifts that I thought were just gifts at the time. I don't know if she kept track of everything she ever spent on me or if this was just an estimate, but that is insane.
That is insane.
She demanded this money back after we broke up. I was the one that broke up with her, so I think this was just her way of getting back at me, I think. Oh, also, I never paid her any of that money. When you buy things for your partner, you shouldn't keep track of it to use it against them at a later date. It's given me a little bit of trust issues, but oh well. I know this one person doesn't speak for the rest of girls.
Do you think she kept track of it during the relationship or afterwards when they broke up? She calculated it and then sent him the invoice.
My guess is that she did it after the fact.
Okay.
She did some forensic accounting and she was like, she did some estimates of how much he owed her, quote unquote.
An insane amount of work to go back and calculate how much you've spent on a relationship.
Yeah, 4,000 over 6 years. What do you think?
Oh, it's over 6 years?
That was a 6-year relationship. $4,000.
That's actually pretty good.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like that's not too bad.
Not that you should pay her back, but
yeah, I mean, it depends on your age too. But it's kind of like, yeah,
how much
4,000 over
think?
6 years is not like a crazy amount of money. I mean, it's a crazy amount to pay back.
Yes.
Later on.
But
like over the
6
years for a partner
like
to spend that much on you, it's
2
like
months
that's
rent.
not that crazy.
Mm-hmm. How much do you think you've spent on the relationship over the past 7 years?
I think our junior year alone, when you studied abroad, I used a lot of like my scholarship and student wage money to pay for those trips. I'm pretty sure I didn't spend 4,000, but I definitely spent in some thousands to go visit you when you were studying abroad. So yeah.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure I've spent a lot of money on you.
Yeah.
But same with you.
But for your travels, am I accountable for that though?
No, I didn't pay for you. I paid for myself. So.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
So do I need to pay?
But
you
if
back
I'm like
for that?
trying to get back at you after we quote unquote break up, I'd probably just include that anyways.
You would,
just to be petty and get my money back.
I think for me, it's probably in the tens of thousands. Is that crazy to say?
That you spent on me?
Yeah.
Tens of thousands?
Yeah. Because I went to Korea to visit your family and...
Oh, you're saying trips we've taken just because of whatever circumstance I put you in or something?
Mm-hmm. Is that how we're calculating now? Is this getting petty?
You also buy all my thongs and lingerie for me, so...
Those are mine.
Oops. My bad.
Okay. Talk about tarnishing your own reputation.
What would you do if you were like ordering underwear and then I was like, someone must have stolen it. It's missing. But it turns out I was wearing them.
I tell you to embrace your own body, girl.
Thank you. That's really body positive.
Okay. This one's from Lil Liz. They say, Red String Theory. Hello, Sarah and James. First of all, on the theme of love, I just wanted to say how much I love your podcast. It's been such a comfort to me as I navigate life in my 20s in the corporate world as a first-gen Asian American. We love you too, Liz. I wanted to tell the story of how I met my lovely partner of almost 6 years now. We went to high school together and had close mutual friends, but never met or even knew of each other's existence. This kind of reminds me of the other one.
Mm-hmm.
But like every modern love story, we found each other through Instagram. We bonded over shared interests like videography, anime, etc. But what really made me fall for him was how we would send each other ultra niche songs from SoundCloud that the other somehow already knew. Our music tastes were so similar, too similar, that I thought he was just stalking my playlist or hijacking my IP. But no, we were just that in sync. 6 years later, he's my best friend and my lover, and I truly haven't experienced a love this kind and warm. It's silly to think he was always just one connection away. I wanted to know your thoughts on the red string theory. Also, I hope my story stands as a sign of hope for those unsure of love and what the future holds. You'll know it's for real when it happens. Ah, that's so cute.
Wait, what is red string theory?
I think red string theory is that you're just connected by a red string. Let me just look this up so I'm not just lying to you guys.
Might as well dance while I'm waiting.
Okay. The red string theory is an East Asian folklore that says an invisible red thread connects people who are destined to be together. This thread can stretch and tangle, but it never breaks.
Hello, our producer. Speaking of red string theory.
His favorite toy is red strings.
There's definitely a red string attached to him with us. Our producer has been on leave, and we don't know what he's been up to during this time, but he hasn't been working on this podcast in a long, long time.
I heard he took up a job as a TaskRabbit.
You think he's any good?
From the video that I watched, no, he's not.
There's a video of him? Is that a thing for TaskRabbits?
There's a video of him working in a giant 100-year-old loft that this YouTuber posted.
Oh.
And he's not doing anything in it.
Well, TaskRabbit doesn't really make sense. He's not a rabbit.
Task cat?
I guess so, yeah.
Sorry, where were we?
The red string theory.
Red string theory. Yeah, that's kind of like soulmates, right? Like you're meant and destined to be with someone.
Do you believe in soulmates?
I do.
Are we soulmates?
Ooh. I feel like this is a controversial take, but I don't think we're soulmates, but we're meant to be together in this lifetime, but we're not connected by the soul, if that makes sense.
Our souls don't immediately gravitate?
Yeah, but
Our souls are not a perfect match.
Yes. However, I think I've heard something like, I heard someone tell me once that you're not meant to be with your soulmate. You're meant to be with someone that's not your soulmate, but you grow into pseudo soulmates, if that makes sense.
You're a grower, not a shower.
Like you.
Yeah. What? That's an insane thing to say on a podcast.
You said it first.
I didn't say I was.
What about you? Do you believe in the red string theory?
Well, I just learned about it, and it sounds like a nice thought. I don't know. I don't know if I've really believed in soulmates, to be honest, because I don't know if I really experienced that level of connection. I mean, I think
so. We're not soulmates.
I think the level of connection we have is like unparalleled. It's very deep.
But not soulmates.
However, I don't know if I would consider us like instant spark soulmates.
Ah, I see. I'm not offended. Can I give you my like definition or like times I've felt like I've met a soulmate? And soulmates can be they can be platonic too, non-romantic. I think soulmates in the past, I've like questioned if someone's my soulmate if I have happenstances with them. Is that the right word?
Elaborate. Continue.
Wait, I don't want to sound stupid. Is happenstance is the right word?
I don't know what you're trying to say. It could be if you're saying something.
I think you're soulmates with someone if you have very opportune and coincidental moments with someone. Like there have been people in my life where I'll run into them in the most random circumstances, or like things will align. Like, when you're on a flight and you sit next to someone and they end up being like the person you're married to for 50 years. Like I feel like that's soulmate energy manifesting itself in the real world, but I feel like that's very rare. But because those things happen so rarely, but also like those things happen and you think about it, I don't think it's a sign that you have to be with that person that you have an opportune moment with. But I do think there's some amount of like serendipity and like spiritual alignment that happens with those people, in your life.
Yeah, I think that's pretty rare. Don't let your boyfriend or husband stop you from finding your soulmate.
All right, let's pull some from Instagram. This one's from our editor. I dated a guy who flew me to New York City and I fell in love with New York City and broke up with him. Good on you, Ari.
Good on you, Ari. I feel like our whole conversation about New York City last week, very pertinent. Yes. So go check that out.
My boyfriend and I met on Hinge, which in itself isn't that exciting. But the funny part is that one night a friend and I had gone out for drinks and had swapped phones to see what guys we had mutually matched with. We lived in the same neighborhood and had our radiuses set to similar distances. She saw that I had matched with him and was like, "Oh, him. You should definitely message him." We went on a date a few months ago and he sent me the kindest rejection text that I now use for all the guys that I reject after first dates. She went on and on about how he was one of the only guys who ever sent her a rejection text instead of ghosting. And it was so interesting to me that she had endorsed him simply off the kindness of his rejection text. Honestly, his profile didn't stand out to me much, so if it wasn't for her, I probably would have never messaged him. But I was super single at the time and figured I had nothing to lose, so I messaged him and eventually set up a date with him. With the exception that if the date didn't go well, I'd at least be let down kindly, lol. Well, I never ended up getting that rejection text because 3 years later, we're still together. And I can attest that he's the kindest person I've ever met.
Oh,
That's sweet. See, that's like the divine intervention that I feel like soulmates have. That like a one-off friend,
who got a rejection text?
yes, is the one that is like pushing something.
I feel like I've heard of that semi-often too, though.
Really?
Like someone goes on a date with a person and they're like, "You're not right for me, but you might be right for my friend." And then
I
they
think I
like
have
matchmake
to.
that way.
Yeah.
But the rejection text is interesting.
Why is it interesting?
I don't know. I just wanted to say it.
No, it is interesting. I feel like people who do write kind rejection texts, though, that is a green flag for me.
This one is from Ant Emoji. Hello, just wanted to say that I've been a huge fan of the podcast since launch and I wanted to share my story of how I met my current girlfriend. We met on a dating app back in April and we started off as just really good friends, which was pretty refreshing for me because anyone who uses a dating app knows it's extremely difficult to find a solid connection with someone there. We texted almost on a daily basis and she was someone that I genuinely felt happy talking to. She was my best friend and we shared a lot of laughs and convos together. However, the attraction part wasn't quite there yet for either of us, so we kept talking as friends until maybe mid-June and she broke the news to me telling me she can no longer talk to me because she entered a situationship/fling/relationship with another guy and he felt uncomfortable with me and her being friends despite her telling him not to worry about it, which is fair, I get it. She removed me off all her socials and it was like I never knew her. In that moment, I kind of just thought, oh bummer, just another failed talking stage, except we were friends. However, as time went on, I realized just actually how much I missed talking to her. Her main Instagram was privated, so I had no idea what was really going on there, but she had a public spam page that I still stalked from time to time to see how she was doing. And even though we were no longer on speaking terms, I was happy that she was doing well and happy that she was making good progress. She had a picture of her and her then boyfriend up on that spam page, and I was happy she was in a relationship because that's a big part of what we used to talk about. But one day in October, I realized that she took down that picture of her and her boyfriend, and I took that opportunity to reach back out. I texted her saying I hope she's been doing well and happy and healthy and drinking water. Staying hydrated is very important. Do you know that clip of Addison Rae that's like,
No.
say hydrated?
No.
And then Addison Rae's like, hydrated. And then they're like, no, hydrated.
That's funny. I think I've
She's
seen
like,
that
what?
one. That is really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. And from there on, almost 5 months of not speaking to each other, we began talking every single day again. She updated me telling me that her and the guy were no longer together and we hung out pretty frequently, shared meals together, and went to a concert together. But this time it felt a little different. I felt myself slowly falling for her, so I asked her if she would like to go on a date with me. She initially thought I was joking, but when she realized I wasn't, things definitely got a lot weirder. She started talking to me less and responses got a lot drier if she were to text me back. And eventually she friend-zoned me, saying that I'm just a good friend to her and things were just not the same anymore. She was my best friend and our daily conversations became so infrequent that I apologized for even asking her out to start with and that I would have never done it if it were to jeopardize our friendship. But maybe a week or so after that was her birthday, so I offered to take her out still and treat her for her birthday, and we spent a full day together. This was a turning point for everything. We shared a lot of laughs, foods, drinks, pictures. It was a day that was just so fun for the both of us, and it was like as if that weird awkward gap between us never happened. We then started calling on a daily basis, FaceTiming 24/7, and if we are not doing that, then we are texting. After 2 weeks of that, she asked me out to go on a date. I genuinely couldn't believe it. I finally got to go on a date with my best friend that continued on for some time, and I officially asked her out to be my girlfriend as soon as the New Year's hit. She's still my best friend, my rock, and I'm so happy to have her in my life after 1.5 ghostings. So 2 things to take away from this, according to her exact words. You always gotta worry about the guy she tells you not to worry about. And 2, if you're persistent enough, you might just get out of the friend zone.
Oh, wait, that took so many twists and turns. I wasn't sure where it was going, but I'm glad it has a happy ending.
So friend zoned each other.
Yes.
She got into a relationship. They stopped talking.
Yes.
They break up. The 2 people start talking again as friends. He gets friend zoned. then he gets out of the friend zone.
Yeah. And now they've been together for a while.
Now they're together.
That's awesome. We love to hear these ups and down stories.
You always got to worry about the guy she tells you not to worry about.
That's such a funny takeaway.
Super fair. This soju shotty says, my BF and I of 7 years met in college and have gone through 5 years of long distance. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel because we're getting engaged soon. He has the ring.
Oh!
Exclamation point.
Exciting.
That's very exciting.
Yay.
5 years of long distance is a very long time.
Yeah, that's insane. Because we did what? 2 years?
I'd say we did like 3 years cumulatively.
Cumulatively?
Yeah.
5 years sequentially would be crazy.
5 is a lot. So it's very awesome that I'm guessing they're together in person now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool.
He has the ring.
Yeah, he has the ring. Congrats.
Congrats.
Is that something is having the ring something you talk about with the other person usually?
Well, I think you usually discuss what type of ring you want.
Yeah.
So I feel like in relationships where they don't want to keep things a surprise, then probably. Although
we should go ring shopping.
You guys.
Not for any particular reason, but
just to get some fun rings.
Yeah.
To wear on our toes.
Yes, on our toes. Exactly. It's a cultural thing.
Okay. Congratulations. This next soju shotty says that they recently reunited with their high school sweetheart after 4 years of going separate ways.
Oh. Reunited after 4 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's so sweet. Do you believe in like second chances, second chapters, second opportunities with people?
Yeah, I do. I think we're a testament to that, right?
Yeah, but we weren't apart for 4 years.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was very different.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like a very, I don't know.
It's a red string theory.
Red string theory, yeah. Mm-hmm. More like a storybook type of rekindling.
Yeah. What
or
are
second
we?
Chance.
Tablet.
Retableting?
Yeah. Did you ever have the thought of or like actual times where you told someone like, if both of us are not married by age 30, let's just get married?
Didn't we say that to each other once or something? Before?
Oh, really? Oh
I think we might have said that to each other at one point. But
I thought I said it to someone else. This is hilarious.
You probably said it to a lot of people then.
Stop.
We may not have said it to each other. I don't think I've said it to anyone else if we haven't said it to each other.
Okay.
Yeah. You said that to other people?
I don't know.
Are you still in contact with them or what?
No.
Oh.
What?
Was that in writing?
Yeah, I signed a contract. It was legally binding.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well, we also signed the contract that I would get you a dog a year after graduating.
Oh, yeah. We signed this contract in like 2017.
Yeah. And you did not get a dog.
What's the penalty for you for not getting me a dog?
I think I offered to give you like a blank check.
You gave me a blank check.
I gave you a blank check to do with whatever you wanted.
This was before we broke up and you gave me that check and you were like, you can still cash it in even though we've broken up.
Yeah.
I need to find that check.
That was your ability to charge me $4,000 for all the expenses.
You literally gave me a check for $100.
Oh, did I write 100?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You could have written a 0 on it.
Oh, that's so funny.
You can do like 1,000 and then put a 4.
Put 6 zeros after that and make that 10 billion.
I don't know if the math is good there, but
okay, we're gonna read maybe like 2 more and then get into the love advice that you guys sent in.
My boyfriend and I met at work. We started talking because we both hate the Avatar: The Last Airbender adaptation.
Oh, that's what Atla meant.
Yeah. Well, you're like Atlanta?
Yeah. I was literally like Atlanta, LA.
Clearly, you're not an Avatar: The Last Airbender fan if you didn't know that Atla initials.
Well, I know the adaptation was bad.
Was it bad? I thought it was like decent. I thought it was fine.
Wait, are we talking live action or
the TV one that was on Netflix?
No, I'm talking about the movie.
Oh, the movie was definitely really bad.
bad.
Yeah, I don't know which one they're talking about.
That's sweet. I love work relationships.
Do you?
Not from experience.
You love work relationships? I guess this is a work relationship.
Oh yeah, I guess you're my employee now.
Yeah, I guess I'm your employee.
You are my
elite employee.
You are my elite employee of the month. I'm gonna read this one. Ooh, sorry. We're gonna read 2 more. This one's from Jenna. So hello, Jenna. My now fiance was my rebound after my high school boyfriend dumped me.
Wow.
She left a part 2 that says, you never know where love will find you, which is true. Do you think rebounds are always subjected to being rebounds? I guess not in Jenna's case, but in most situations.
Rebounds win championships. End of story.
I love that. This one's from our friend, but I thought it was funny.
She says, haha, OMG, me and my boyfriend met because of my date with our mutual friend.
Yeah.
And their mutual friend as well.
It's funny how things happen in life because We met this friend separately, and she had gone on a date with one of our mutual friends, and that didn't work out. But that was like years ago. But then she's now dating another one of our friends from college.
And we all know each other.
And now we all know each other, which is crazy. There's some more stories that we can't get to because there's no time. But we also had a lot of advice you guys sent in, so we wanted to read out some of the advice. So the first one is from Cass, and Cass says, my favorite piece of advice I learned for relationships: instead of a relationship being 50-50, it should be 60-40 with both people trying to do 60. Such a good way to look at it because both partners will always try to go the extra mile for one another, which goes a long way for both to feel cared for. That's a great way to think of it. I've never gotten that advice before, but I feel like that's a good way to say you should always try more than you're expected to try.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like once you start withholding something in the relationship, that's really not a good sign at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like both people should always be striving to be better and do more for the other person. So I like that a lot. This one is from Ace, and this is a piece of advice. Hi, Sarah. I originally sent one in on IG, but I wanted to share it here since I feel like it'd be more comprehensive. Anyways, I wanted to say I love your content so much. It feels like a hug from the big sister I never had.
Yay.
Some advice I wanted to share. I feel like dating culture has been terrible with dating apps completely taking over, but it doesn't have to be. I've always told my friends that dating apps are more so a way for you to learn about who you are. You're able to figure out what you're attracted to, what you want in a partner, and just overall understand your needs. Not only that, but you can make some really good platonic connections as well. I think more people should know themselves first before really committing to someone, especially if you met on one of these apps. I personally wasn't actively looking and knew that I was very career focused at the time, and so I wanted a partner with my same level of ambitions and drive. I didn't want someone to be waiting around for me while I was off doing the things I love. I made that clear with people I matched with when my best friend pushed me to download dating apps after I did the same to her, lol. Now I've been with my boyfriend for almost 2 years, who I met on Tinder, and we currently live together. We're both busy with work, but we definitely spend a good amount of quality time whenever we can. My best friend, who I pushed to give dating apps a try, have also been dating her boyfriend now for 2 years. I just think you really have to keep an open mind with these apps. I even met a long-term friend of mine on Hinge, and now he as well is in a long-term relationship with his girlfriend. Anyways, thank you for reading my ramble. My current relationship has honestly made me really believe that love and romance are not dead.
Oh, wait, that's a great mindset to have, because I think the benefit of technology-driven social relationships nowadays is you do have so much choice and opportunity to like explore that maybe people didn't have back then. So it's like using these apps to just understand what you like and like what works for you is such a good hack. I don't even know if it can be called a hack.
Yeah, I think that's a nice way to look at it. She's saying you should see it as a tool because it is a tool, not for like the end all be all. You need to find love on this platform or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Have you made any friends from dating apps before?
I have not made any friends from dating apps. I remember I downloaded Bumble BFF when I was in San Francisco right after graduating. And maybe it's my toxic masculinity coming out, but it felt weird to be swiping on a bunch of dudes who had their interests listed and they had like nice photos of themselves. Yeah. I was like, I'm in a relationship with Sarah and this feels kind of gay a little bit. So then I didn't. And I was like, I'll find friends the organicer way. Not to hate on Bumble BFF. I've heard it's really good actually. But I just downloaded it once and I was like, maybe I will not do it. Yeah. That's all. Have you?
Yes. Unfortunately, I've never made friends on these dating apps because the situations always end up a little questionable. Maybe I'll talk about this in another like solo dating episode. I remember when I was on dating apps, I met this guy and we bantered a lot, like very well on text. But then when I met him in person, it was not the same. But then he kind of like, I was like, oh, I'm down to be friends because I wanted to make friends back then. But then he would just constantly pester me about dating. And I was like, I told you I don't want to date you. So
sounds like a weird guy.
He's honestly like a fine person.
Oh, he's fine.
No,
Oh, he's fine.
No. Or yes? No.
Wrong answer.
No. He's a cool guy, but I think at that
cool.
time.
Oh, he's cool now.
No. Let's go back to last week's episode.
Okay, he's not. Oh, okay. Dance.
No, he's fine because like after those couple of months where he was still actively pursuing me, I was like, ooh, dating apps are not for me because I think people just take it the wrong way. Like if you meet through a dating app, at least for me, that you could not break through to the friend zone. But I think it was just that one-off experience. And I think that was probably the only time I met someone off of a dating app. And after that, I didn't give myself an opportunity. But I do stand by this. You do get to see different varieties of people on dating apps and get to see what you like and maybe like experiment, explore a little more without the weight of having to get into a relationship.
It's like astrology.
What?
It's a tool to get to know yourself.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not the only thing you should use to guide your life choices.
Speaking of, Geminis are about to have a great year, so...
Yeah, you've been watching a lot of tarot stuff, huh? And they're all talking about how bad the boyfriend is or something.
I think this piece of advice is really good. I'm going to merge two pieces of advice because I think they're in the same category, but use your relationships as a mirror into yourself. And then the other one is notice your internal reaction to what your partner/loved one says/does. Yeah. I think it's about like self-reflecting and using the relationship as an opportunity to learn more about yourself and like see how you react to things and like learn from that and grow from that.
So if you have anger when your partner calls you out, their advice would be to think about it. Think about why you're reacting that way and what does that say about you. I say that because that happened today with us because she called me out on something that she absolutely should have called me out on, and then I was a little upset about it, and then we talked about it and I was like, yeah, I'm wrong. So
thanks for the synopsis.
Yeah, it was a synopsis, and then I applied it to our life.
I love that. And what did you learn today?
Wife is always right.
Wife.
James. Girlfriend always right. Bria says, it's true when they say to love yourself before you go on to love others.
Yeah.
How do you know if you love yourself enough to love someone else? Because you're always a work in progress, right? I agree with this person, by the way, but what level of emotional health do you have to be to like get into a relationship?
I think there's definitely not a threshold, but it's when you start treating yourself the way that you want other people to treat you. I think that's when there's enough self-love. What do you think?
When you start treating yourself the way other people treat you?
No, when you start treating yourself the way you want other people to treat you.
Oh,
I think that's when there's enough self-love for you to put yourself out there.
I feel like there's no way to know, and you just kind of reflect on it as you go. And in retrospect, you're like, oh, I was too immature in that relationship, or I probably shouldn't have been in that relationship because I couldn't handle it, or they couldn't handle it. But I feel like you can't know until you just do it.
I think you just have to find the right person to help yourself nurture self-love.
Yeah. And I think you can't be crazy.
Yeah.
Like you have to show some willingness to like adapt to what the other person tells you, and that person also can't be crazy. And as long as you both are trying to like improve with each other, then I think that's all that matters.
Wait, this one I really like. This one's farting in front of your partner is a sign of a healthy relationship. I'm still shy though.
Yeah, you should be able to fart in front of your partner. Didn't you say someone said that their husband thinks they don't fart?
No. I have a friend. She doesn't fart in front of her husband, but she also tells him that she never poops. He thinks that she doesn't poop.
Does she think that he thinks that, or does he actually think that? Because if he thinks that...
I literally was like, girl, there's no way he doesn't know you poop. And she was like, no, he doesn't. And I was like, what do you mean?
There's no way he thinks she doesn't poop.
I don't know. Some
Does
guys
he think
are gullible.
he's with like a robot or something? That's crazy.
Initiating poop.
No, it wouldn't be because it doesn't poop at all, right?
Initiating. No
Not
poop.
pooping.
There's some other pieces of advice that we don't have time to get to, but some of you guys asked us questions, so maybe we'll do a speed round of questions. The first one is, what would you consider as going too fast in a relationship? This is my first, so I'm confused.
It's going too fast in a relationship?
Well, I think if you're questioning if it's going too fast, then it probably is going too fast. I think it's whenever you feel uncomfortable about how things are moving along that should indicate that things are too fast.
I guess it depends, why you're questioning it. If someone else is flagging it to you and they're like, you should like pump the brakes, you're going too fast, and you don't feel that way, maybe it's fine. But it's like, I don't know the situation enough. But
that's true.
Yeah, I feel like if you are questioning it yourself, then you should definitely question it. Maybe you are going too fast.
Yeah.
How can I love my operation systems exam? You don't need to, man. Or girl, either one.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for that one.
Yeah, I don't think we know how to love your operation systems exam either. Did academic/career goals ever get in the way? If so, how did you guys handle it? I can tell you, I was not a star pupil at college, so that's definitely not a concern. back then?
I think for me, career has maybe had more of a place in our relationship, as in like it's
the ugly monster in the corner that stares at us all the time.
But it's more that I think I tend to be a workaholic, so it's definitely caused some rifts where maybe we don't spend enough time together. But now you're doing the same thing to me, so I feel like we're even.
Karma got its kiss from me.
But
Right, that's a thing.
is that the
I
way
don't
you
know.
say it?
I
That
don't know.
sounds right. These are tough questions to answer just on the spot when it comes down to things coming in the way of your relationship. And there is also one piece of advice that someone else had written about having an open line of communication at all times. I think that's very crucial, because if you're not able to like talk openly about how you feel with things like academics and career coming in the way, then you will never hit a solution between the both of you. And I think that's how we've tended to navigate it. Obviously, it takes effort too to carve out time to spend with each other and be willing to make compromises on things like academics and career. But I really do think the first line of defense is communication.
Yeah. I also don't think I am an authority on this at all, because I am very much still figuring this out. Like, how does the career goals and the relationship maintenance and relationship growth sustain with each other? I don't think I've really figured that out yet. So I think we're still working it out.
Yeah.
What's the right balance between relationship and career and life and all that?
Yeah. Here's something for everyone that hates Valentine's Day. A goat soju shotty wrote in saying, I am single and vehemently hate Valentine's Day. All it kind of does is remind me I'm single and how all my friends are in relationships. It does seem very performative, but what should I do to make myself less alone?
To make yourself less alone?
Honestly,
stay off social media on
Ooh.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because everyone's professing their love for each other on Valentine's Day. I think that's when you see it, it makes you feel worse.
Yeah.
But also, I think we all need to try to celebrate. This is like easier said than done. I think we should all try to celebrate ourselves. So I feel like it'd be really nice on Valentine's Day just to get yourself a gift and take yourself out for a nice meal, or even cook yourself a nice meal at home.
I feel like to go out for a dinner on Valentine's Day is even more of a kick in the face.
Don't go out on
because everyone's
Valentine's
just
Day.
couples, right?
Yeah, that's true. Also, the food is usually more expensive and less good.
I think the day passes pretty fast, and I would just kind of do whatever activity you personally enjoy that day.
Yeah, just indulge in things that you like for yourself. And
unless that is eating food at a restaurant, then I would say maybe don't do that day.
How do you differentiate a close friend of the opposite gender to a person you want to date? Actually, how did you tell back in the day? If it
I feel like for guys, whenever you have a close girlfriend,
is it true that you almost always want to date your close girlfriends?
I think it depends on the type of connection. I think there are ones where it's like very clearly just like little sister type of energy. Like they're just like your little sister, or not even little sister, just a sister. Could be a big sister. And then I think the ones where it doesn't really feel like that and you guys get really close, those are probably the ones where guys are always like, hey, I have to tell you something. And then the girl's like, oh no. You know what I mean? As someone who has been confessed to multiple times by close guy friends, what is your opinion on this?
If you guys watched my solo dating episode 1, I kind of talked about this, but I actually saw like none of my friends as romantic partners, guy friends as romantic partners.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Until you.
Me included.
No, but I think for a period, I just didn't want to get into a relationship with someone I felt so closely tied to. But I think before that, with friends or people that I was close to, it kind of just happened like with butterflies, right? Like you just start feeling like you have a crush on someone. I don't think there was any like, oh, they were always this or they were always that. Love finds its way towards you, just like Missy.
Yeah,
finds
what do you
his
think,
way
Missy,
towards
about
us.
this?
He's so cute.
One thing I'll say on this, I feel like a lot of guys, especially ones without like a lot of sisters, the only close relationships they have in life for a lot of life are guy friends or girlfriends. So when they get a platonic girlfriend, I think a lot of the time they don't know how to really deal with that because they've never had like a close girlfriend, and so they'll confuse like closeness with a female person for some romantic feeling.
I see.
Maybe it is just romantic feeling, but I feel like that's why there's the whole trope of guys always having some sort of angle for a close girlfriend. People say like with close girlfriends, guys will often get with them if given the opportunity or whatever. So unless that's a pre-existing girlfriend that you've been platonic friends with for years, so there's obviously a history of they're just friends. I think sometimes it's just, yeah, that's why a lot of guys end up not having platonic girlfriends after they get into a relationship, because it's like there's probably some angle they had some with them or something like that.
That's a good point. Moosey, not in front of the camera. No, that's a good point. I always wondered why that was more of a trope. And now
with
you've
guys,
explained
right?
it, yeah.
Girls don't. I feel like girls
Not
don't
so
necessarily
much.
feel that way as much.
Right.
They're usually like, why did you ruin our friendship with this
Right.
confession?
Yeah. Anyways, that's to wrap up our Valentine's Day episode. I wish there was more advice and like self-love tips, because I know not all of us are in the mood to celebrate relationships and
Yeah, not
finding your
all of
soulmate.
our viewers are in a relationship.
in a relationship or some form of a partnership, or even maybe want to be in one. So we see you guys.
Keep on dancing.
Keep on dancing. Keep on
Should
celebrating.
we do a more singles focused episode at some point?
Yeah, we should. What would we talk about it? We would talk about Singles Inferno and how literally nothing's happening on this season of Singles
I
Inferno.
really do not like this new season.
But thank you for joining us on our Valentine's Day special. We hope you had a wonderful time tuning in. We hope you're celebrating Valentine's Day with yourself, fostering your self-love, and also your relationships with your friends, your family, and potentially a loved one. So that sounded like such a formal outro.
Wait, can we, before we go,
Yeah.
can we give our favorite Valentine's Day candy that we got in elementary school?
Oh, I forgot people used to do that. Like you would drop cards in the little slots with
And you buy
Oh,
candy
that's so
and then you
cute.
write people's names and you give out
yeah.
Valentine's Day cards for
Yeah.
everyone. That's such a cute cultural thing.
That is. What kind of Valentine's Day candies were there?
I liked Fun Dip.
Oh, that was pretty fun.
It's literally all sugar.
Was the concept
just-
of that one? You lick it and then you
lick
dip it?
it's like a hard candy and then you lick it and you dip it into sugar basically, and then the sugar just goes onto the stick and you just eat the sugar.
I like the heart lollipops. Those are classic.
The heart lollipops? Which ones are those?
I'm making something up because I cannot remember what candies we used to get.
Well, there's like the heart-shaped ones. The heart-shaped ones that have like messages on them.
Oh, like Be Mine and
Yeah.
But those tasted not that great
Those did
though.
not taste good.
At some point when I was like in my teens, I thought it'd be so cute to be proposed to with a ring pop. Not now.
That would be
Don't-
crazy if I did that.
No.
What?
But let us know if you guys have a favorite Valentine's candy that you would get in your little cubby if you guys did that in school. And anything else?
That's it.
Thank you guys for listening. See you next week. Bye.
Bye. Bloopers.
It's bloopers.
Why don't you do that while I read this one?
Okay.
I was dating a girl for 6 years. When we broke up, she wanted money back for everything that she ever paid for.
Wait.
With the fire trucks going in the background.
Yeah. They saw me dancing. They
Oh,
needed to
yeah.
come get me.
They're like, she can't be doing that. She's gonna cause an emergency.
I am the emergency.
All right, let me start this over.
Okay.
What starts with F and ends with UCK?
Fire truck.
Yeah, exactly.